Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a timeless reading. This energy was activated the moment you clicked on this video. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Four of Swords. Okay. It's a good way to start. You're somebody who is, you're a good listener. People feel like they can talk to you, right? I feel like you very much try to have an open mind. You try to be open to new ideas. You try to let everybody talk. You know, in your life, I feel like you try to be respectful. You try to give everybody a voice, let everybody say their piece. Everybody has an opinion. And I think that's a very, very likable quality, right? People don't feel that they are like overpowered by you, right? But sometimes we have to sort of plug our ears and just keep going. Sometimes we have to agree to disagree, right? The Four of Swords is a card called Truce. And to me, it kind of feels like we're not on the same page, but I don't want to debate it anymore. I don't want to fight about it any longer, right? So let's just agree to disagree. Let's do our thing. Let's move past this point, because when we get a 4, we start looking around for the 5. We say, where's the conflict? Where's the disagreement? Where's the debate? Where's the argument, right? Let's put this card into a little bit of context. I imagine we'll see the argument here somewhere. Well, we got a 3 of Wands. That's not an argument. We got a 10 of Wands. That's not an... Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's the... But see, we're moving past that. Okay, so the stress that we had here, and I don't know if this is... I mean, it could be an argument with ourselves. It could be a confusion over what path to take. It could be a confusion over what decision to make. But it's... The 5 of Swords is mental stress. Here we have mental calm. It's not an agreement. It's not complete peace, but it is, hey, I'm just going to stop worrying about it. I'm going to stop fighting, stop arguing. It's time rather to get to work than to debate. Okay, here we have that, and now we've got a really good vertical path here. 10 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. And in the future position, a 7 of Pentacles, because if we go the way of the argument, I think it's going to, we're going to continue to get this 7. But I think what's in front of you is an obstacle, okay? What's in your life right now seems to be a conversation about what to do with this obstacle, okay? And I think it really comes down to we've thought about it or we've talked about it enough. Now it's just time to try something. Let's just throw something at it and see what sticks, you know? But I think it's more than that. Because of that 3 of Wands, I feel like you know the right thing to do, even if you're having an internal debate about it or an external debate about it, right? So we know what to do to confront this obstacle and turn it in from, from a 7 of Pentacles to an 8 of Pentacles. Here we have a Princess of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. And the Prince of Pentacles. Oh, and you know what? I ended up pulling out 2 cards. Didn't try to do that. But one of them, Sagittarius, happens to be your superpower card. And with it, that is the Art or Temperance card. That card rules the sign of Sagittarius. It is your superpower card. But with that card came also the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is also a Sagittarius card. It is Mercury in Sagittarius. So you got an extra card here, okay? And the 8 of Wands here, being Mercury in Sagittarius, is kind of saying like your truest, best, highest self knows what to do here. And really it's do anything except argue about it. Any direction is going to be better than just sitting here and wrestling with the issue, debating the situation, or being in this confused, chaotic, stressful state, whether it's internal or whether there's somebody in your life that you're sort of arguing with. I'm still on the fence whether or not this is like an argument with your person or your collaborator or your partner, or your friend, maybe family member, maybe a coworker. I kind of feel that there is, but I feel like it's more about the internal debate here about like, what should I do? Do I listen to this other person and do what they want to do? Or do I trust my gut and do what I know is right? I think you're trusting your gut. And really what these two cards together are saying is that you doing what you believe is the right thing, even if it's wrong, even if it fails, even if it doesn't work out, is better than you just acquiescing and letting somebody else take the reins here. Now, sometimes that's a good move, right? Sometimes. But in this case, no, you would rather do it yourself and fail than let somebody else do it and have it work out, right? That's where we're at right now. And I think this is really about you trusting in yourself, trusting in your creative energy, trusting in your vision for what this is supposed to be. Whether this is a financial thing, whether this 10 of Pentacles is just, work, career, vocation, your calling, if it's your family, if it is your creative works, if it's your health, perhaps, right? So, very interesting cards here. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And this is going to go right here with our little sea turtle friend. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card might be, put your prediction, your guess, your hunch down in the comments. All right. Now, looking around the room, this is interesting too. The only major arcana energy we see is your spiritual energy, your superpower card, the Art or Temperance card. Okay. So really, it's kind of Spirit's way of saying, trust in your spirit. Trust in that divine light that is within you. Trust in your creative energy. Figure out what creative tool you have within you that you can use in this situation. And that's how you succeed. Okay? Whatever your goals are, it's not about getting to the goal. It's not about the goal. It's about who you become on your way to that goal. If you have a goal, it means a lot to you, but somebody else is driving the car. Somebody else does the work to get there. Yeah, I'll be happy that we get there. You want to make $1 million, sure. If someone else can do that for me, hey, that's even better. But it's going to be different when you do it yourself. Even if it takes longer, even if you have to try harder than the next person, even if you have to go through a couple of failures to get there, it's going to mold you into who you're supposed to be. Right? So if either way you're going to get the $1 million, right? Either way you're going to get to your goal. Why not take the route that's going to also involve all of that satisfaction from the work, from the self-development, from you using your own creative ideas and your own genius to get there? Either way, we're getting to the goal, right? I don't know what your goal is. If your goal is something creative or financial, or if it's something to do with your health and well-being. Who's driving the silver car here, too, by the way? Someone's driving the silver car, yeah? The major arcana, again, is the Art or Temperance card, and I can talk all day about that card. Hopefully, it won't be that long of a video, but we'll get there towards the end of the reading, okay? We have our fire and fire. We don't have any water at the moment. And what we have is air and air and air, and earth and earth and earth and earth. Okay? We have a 10 and a 10, which is very significant, because we have a 10 of Wands and a 10 of Pentacles. Maximum effort, maximum reward. And that's kind of what this is. You want to be able to put in all of your work and take all of your credit. You want the whole shebang, right? You want the whole satisfaction of knowing that you did this, knowing that you put in the work, even if, yeah, we got to go through a few 7 of Pentacles to keep getting the 7 and the 8. You know, this is growth. These two cards this is the tarot's way of talking about growth. 7 to an 8. Not growing, there it's growing. Not growing, there it's growing. It's incremental. It's a little bit at a time. It's through the repetition. It's through all of the obstacles that we face that we grow into who we're meant to become, right? That you grow into happiness, that you grow into a successful, happy, confident person. You're being molded every step of the way as if you were on the blacksmith's anvil. And that's what I see here with this card. This is the temperance card, as we're being tempered on the blacksmith's anvil, right? Being pounded and molded into who we're meant to be. Okay, into the best and strongest version of ourselves. All right. So this, and that's why there's no water energy here. Because the satisfaction is only going to come through you doing this work. Which means we have to start doing this work, right? And not be in this air energy of debate, of questioning, of looking for answers. The thing about the 5, and it is very interesting too to have a 5 and a 4, right? Just as it's interesting to have a 10 and a 10, we've got a 4 and a 5, we got a 7 and an 8. I mean, that's really extraordinary. You got a really rare kind of set of cards here. Very special here. The 4 and the 5 of swords, the more we think about something, the more we're going to think about it, right? Thoughts beget thoughts. Thoughts just sort of multiply themselves, right? The more we think about the issue, the more different avenues we'll have. We come up with an answer, but then that answer, well, we've got to sort of analyze that, think about that, and we come up with a lot more questions. Every answer leads to 5 more questions, right? And then you get 4 answers, and then what leads to 20 more questions. And so it's exponentially getting more and more complex until we end up with an 8 or a 9 or worse, a 10 of swords, and we don't end up doing anything, right? If you add these together, a 5 and a 4, what do we get? We get a 9, right? We get a 9 of swords. A 9 of swords is just misery, despair. It's just like, I'm so confused. I don't know what the heck to do. So there comes a point where we just have to say, you know what? Enough is enough. Let's do it. Let's try something, right? The 3 of Wands here is very interesting because it's kind of saying like, you know yourself well enough to make some decision, to make some choice. And so the way we get out of this 5 and 4 of swords is to really just say, I'm taking control, I'm taking leadership here of my own vessel, right? My own life, this project, whatever you're working on. It could be, again, something spiritual, it could be something financial or health related, something to do with your fitness and your well-being. It could be an exercise routine. It could be your financial, future. It could be your career, your vocation, a new skill, new hobby. It could be a stamp collection. It could be gardening. It could be managing your retirement, whatever it is. It could be school. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. What matters is this 3 of Wands, that we recognize this. This is your task right now, is to identify sort of your truest self and say, we know what to do, right? The collective we. We know what to do. And it may be a lot of different ideas that we're going to try, but we know that we have to take the responsibility here. This card is virtue, right? It's doing the right thing even when it's difficult. And what if we don't know what the right thing is? Well, do my very best. You have great intentions, and you know what the goal is. And so now we're going to put in the work to get to the goal, and we're going to stop stressing and thinking and worrying about it, stop trying to plan it out. And this is the card now of action. This becomes the sun in Aries. It's kind of like we're just waking up. We're saying, I just got to start now. I'm not going to start tomorrow. I'm not going to start on New Year's. I'm going to start right now. I'm not going to wait till my birthday, which is in July, by the way. I'm going to start right now. I'm going to do it today. If we, the moment that we realize this 3 of Wands, the moment we have this sort of, revelation that, wow, I've been wasting a lot of energy thinking about something for maybe minutes, maybe hours, maybe days or years. Let's not waste any more time by saying, okay, well, tomorrow morning I'm going to start. No, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning right now and we've been worrying about something all night long, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's just do it now. Let's just get up and do it, whatever it is, whatever we can, right? Because if we put it off, if we hit the snooze button and we wait till the morning, we're no better off than we were, let's say, the night before. you know. So this is about recognizing the need to take action, and we, instead of thinking about it, talking about it, and wondering and questioning, going through the whole question and answer sort of buildup of more and more confusion, we're just going to take action. We're going to do something. We're going to make any choice right now is better than no choice at all. Okay. The swords cards, all of them really show a lot of chaos in the background, but an attempt to make some sort of order out of the chaos. So we have these 3 air cards. And each one shows, I think, sort of an increasing amount of chaos, right? And there's chaos here. If we go to the 6 even, is a lot of chaos, but at least there's harmony and balance. So, you know, we're realizing that by thinking about something more and more and more, we're not actually coming to any conclusions. So the 4 of Swords becomes this, all right, enough. I don't know the answer. I don't want to keep asking more questions. I'm okay with not knowing, right? I'm okay with not knowing everything that's happening. I'm okay with not having all the answers. Sort of realizing that the mind has done its due diligence thinking about everything, right? And now it's just time to try something, to take some action, okay? And I do think that there is another person that you've been sort of debating with, and it could really just be the old version of yourself, but this 5 of Swords is a lot of argument, a lot of debate, a lot of questions. This is us trying to find some sort of order in the chaos, but not really doing it, not having a good success there. This card, to me, also feels like the more we think about something, the more reasons we find to not do it, the more excuses we make, or the more sort of negative the more negatively we talk about ourselves, talk to ourselves. Okay, and if this is coming from other people or other friends, coworkers, so-called friends, and you know, they're sort of pointing out all these things that could go wrong, or all these ways that you're not really ready or good enough or something, we start to believe it. We start to think, yeah, gosh, you know what? Maybe I am too old to do it. Maybe I am too young, or maybe I am too short. Maybe I am too tall for that, you know. We start to sort of believe it too. And this is really, really terrible, because we end up losing the game before we even put on the uniform. We end up being defeated by our own thoughts. Okay, before we even get off the couch, we've lost it. We say, oh, man, shucks, I missed it. You know. So it's good that this is behind you, because I feel like you're realizing that, okay, wait a minute, I can't let those thoughts just sit there and multiply. It's like thoughts can be like a mind virus, you know. The 10 of Wands underneath the surface, you really do have an ability to go all in, pedal to the metal on anything in your life. And it's really, you know, maybe this is the idea of trying to decide what goal to pursue. Maybe you already have the short, medium, and long-term goals in mind, but it's just a matter of, I don't know exactly how to get started. I don't know what to do. And maybe we're looking too far into the future, right? And we'll get there when we talk about the 10 of Pentacles, because, you know, maybe there's part of this is it's a really big distance between where I am now and the long-term goal. There's a whole lot of space between, right? Shout out to Dave Matthews. There's a lot of space between here and the long-term goal, whatever it might be for you. So it could be that we're really sort of, we have the energy to do it, but we just don't know how to go from here all the way over there. We've got to do the incremental. We need the short-term and medium-term goals, right? So that we can build up to the long-term. And of course, that's what we see with the 7 and the 8, 7 and the 8, 7 and the 8. I think sometimes in your mind, you start to feel like it should just be, it's one thing. Like, my goal is to make the $1 million. Okay. And then we're looking around, okay, where's the $1 million? What can I do that makes the $1 million? What $1 million idea do I have? And so we're looking for that one big sale, that one big game that's going to be, you know, the end all of our career. That's going to, you know, give us the $1 million, not realizing that we build it up incrementally, right? So sometimes this is that expectation that if I just do one huge thing, then I'll make it to that goal. It's just going to be, instead of a lot of little steps, I want to just take one big step and be done. Like, I don't know what movie this is, but it's just like someone does not want to get a job. They're just waiting for that one job that's going to pay them the $1 million. They're a salesperson. They don't want to do any of these little sales. They're looking for the one big job, the one big sale. I don't want to work every day. I want to work once in a big, big way, and that's going to be it, right? I'm sure there are a lot of movies like that. Looking for the one gig that's going to do it, right? Instead of thinking incrementally, thinking, well, let me start somewhere, and it'll build up. It'll snowball, right? These kinds of things snowball. But you're definitely a hard worker. And I think that you don't always work well with others, if I can say that. I feel like you enjoy your independence. You want to know that you did something on your own merit and that you weren't leaning too heavily on anybody else, right? The Ten of Wands to me very often is talking about this issue that we have with interdependence or even codependency. And I think you're a very independent person and you don't like to lean on people. But at the same time, you don't mind people leaning on you. Yeah. Because I think that it's a strength that you have, that you're able to be generous with your time, effort, energy, and or money, right? If other people need you for something, you're there. I think you're a very solid and very stand-up person, very reliable, very generous with your time and your attention. But you don't want to have to rely on anybody else the way people rely on you, okay? And it makes sense. I'm not going to tell you that's right or wrong, but I think that's just something that we need to be aware of, Like you're probably the person who, if you're struggling to do something, like you're lifting all the groceries out of the car, and someone comes and says, well, let me take some of those bags. You say, no, I got them. And then you got all the grocery bags lined up on your arms and you're carrying them in the house like this. And the other person's like, okay, well, I won't offer then, sometimes we can ask for help. Sometimes we can accept the help that's offered. But I feel like there's a little bit of a resistance there for you in that, okay? I wonder if there is a change in your employment or something coming soon. Because I feel like you are looking for these, you are looking for growth. You are looking for new opportunities and for expansion, right? I think the mystery card might be the Wheel of Fortune. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is prudence, caution, patience, slow down, right? Do things in a gradual way. This is kind of a step-by-step. It's a repeat thing. It's like you can do that one, anybody can hit a hole in one on the golf course, or anyone can kick the field goal or throw the touchdown pass once. It's kind of like it's beginner's luck, or it's the fluke, or it's the anomaly. The idea here is the repeatability of something. Can you do it again? Can you do it next game? It's kind of like you go to start a band or something, or you're going to be in sports or something, or you're going to do some creative thing. You're going to paint a masterpiece, and it's like, is it just a one-hit wonder? Is it just you have one in you and then that's it? Because that's not really profitable, right? That's not something that that's not going to lead to any sustainability. Yeah, I guess there are people who just do one thing and then they sort of ride that for a few years, But the idea here is, yeah, you can paint a masterpiece, but can you paint consistently? Are you going to show up every day and do the work, right? Or are you just waiting for that really big moment? You come in, you do the one masterpiece, and then we don't see it for 364 days for the rest of the year. So this is really about the repetition, the routine, doing the hard work, going in day after day, and taking those little steps forward, even on the days where we get the Seven of Pentacles and we don't see any progress at all. You see, we have the Ten of Pentacles in the environment here, in your relationships. To me, it feels like this is what we're sort of expecting. We want the this is the long-term goal. And we know that to get there, we have to show up every single day, put in our very best work. Maybe this is your work ethic. right? The Three of Wands virtue card. And we have to know that a lot of days are going to be, or they're going to appear like nothingness. It's going to appear black, dark, hopeless, empty, no progress, right? Nothing's thriving, nothing's growing, right? If you look closely at the card, you'll see that there's life there. There are things growing in there. But from where we normally look at it, 16 inches away, I don't have my glasses, it doesn't look like anything. It looks like a black smudge. It looks like a blurry smudge in my hand here. But we know that we're doing something. We know that it is actually making progress. We are actually growing and evolving and taking these little incremental steps. Okay? And I think that's really important up here too when we get the Eight of Wands with the Eight of Pentacles together. It's kind of saying like, as long as you're showing up every day and doing something and putting in some kind of work, even if we're experimenting and using different tools, even if we are sort of not sure exactly what the plan is or which direction to go, we're showing up every day. It's kind of like you don't wait till you have that perfect song in your head before you go into the studio. No, you're in the studio every day, laying down beats, writing, mixing stuff, thinking, playing different instruments, listening to different music. Like every day you're in the studio. Every day you're in your art studio painting something. You may not have the idea for the perfect masterpiece yet, but you're in there every day doing the work, right? And that maybe is going to build up to, well, one, it's going to build up to a lot of skill, a lot of technical ability. Right? It may lead up to that sort of masterpiece idea. But I think it's also going to be very satisfying. That says, you know what? Every day I'm getting up, I have discipline. Every day I get up and I go into the studio, it feels good. It doesn't always feel good when I'm like kind of staring at the the canvas and I don't know what to paint. Just paint anything. Paint something. And that will be satisfying. Maybe the masterpiece will come out and you didn't even know. So the 7, like I said, is a card of failures, those little f failures. And I've got to think of a new keyword for that card, right? It's called the Lord of Failure, but that sounds too much like a title that you'll see on the marquee, I am the Lord of Failure. That sounds too official. This is kind of like obstacle or setback or not yet succeeding, right? Because this is the little f failures. These are the very edges of your capabilities, and this is where you want to be. You want to be right here at that 7, because the 7 means that it's not easy. If things are just easy and routine for you, then big deal, right? You're not really growing. You're not making any progress. You're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But if it's a little bit hard, if it's a little bit beyond your capabilities, forces you to grow. That's what being in the pressure cooker really means. That's what being in that art or temperance card on the blacksmith's anvil really means here, is that you're stretching yourself just far enough that then your body, your mind, your heart has to grow a little bit to meet that new challenge. So you're not, when you set goals for these incremental goals to get to your big, huge jackpot, you're setting up these little goals that are just outside of your capabilities. If you can lift 100 pounds easily, then make your goal 110 pounds or whatever. That's your goal, because it's a little bit hard. You can do it, obviously. Work, it may take you a couple days, but you'll get there. But set your goals a little bit beyond what your current capabilities are. I mean, it's common sense, right? Let's talk about the Path of the Serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. These readings are totally free. Your general energy is the Princess of Swords. You're always looking to learn. You're always trying to absorb new information. You are an intellectual person. We have our swords cards over here. This is the card that's kind of always searching for more knowledge. We have to be careful that this doesn't become kind of an armchair magician, an armchair painter, an armchair sort of quarterback or, field goal kicker, whatever. The armchair, musician or something. we have to be in the action. We have to be doing the work, expressing the creativity. This is not someone that sits back and thinks about how to do it, but is here figuring it out in real time by doing it, learning by doing it. It's kind of an on-the-job training. So this is really the card of sort of looking for more opportunities, looking for those goals, not in that intellectual way, but really trying to make some progress here. Okay? This is thought leading directly to action. Okay? I'm thinking about it enough, I just need to start doing something. And maybe by doing it, by getting my hands in the clay, I'll figure out, then I'll learn something, and then I'll have that idea, perhaps. So this is that card of really that curiosity. And the only way to satisfy the curiosity is to go and do the thing. You can read all about Spain, right? But it's not going to really mean much to you. It's not going to feel like anything until you get there and you say, wow, right? We need that water energy in here. And the only way to get that water energy is for you to be involved hands-on doing the thing, right? Even if you don't know what you're doing exactly, that's okay, you know. I feel like someone in your life has been inconsiderate to you recently. And I feel like that kind of has put you off of working with that person or of really sharing too much with that person. I feel like there's someone in your life that sort of you're having that issue with lately, yeah. And something about being in a mall. I don't know if you've been shopping in a mall recently, but there's something, Spirit's referencing the trip to the mall, the recent trip to the mall, yeah. 10 of Pentacles here in the environment. This is that long-term goal. You have this vision. You know the life you want. You know who you are, where you are, and what you're doing 5-10 years down the road, right? Let's just say when we're old, right? We know who we want to be and what we want to be doing. The idea is that this long-term goal is not going to create itself. This is your personal reality. You have to be the architect of your own personal reality. Again, who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. That's the vision of the future that you need, right? And so this is like, well, I want to be $1 million. I want to have $1 million. I want to live in Florida, and I want to be painting pictures or something. I don't know what. It seems like a pretty cool goal. Like that's what you want. Okay, well, it's not. We're not just going to wait around for it to happen. We're not just going to think about it. Oh, to have $1 million. Oh, to be in Florida painting. Yeah, that'd be great, right? It's not going to manifest unless we start doing the work. So yes, we need to think about it. We need to have ideas. We need to generate ideas, and we need to analyze what we're doing. We need to have the self-reflection, but we need to take action to get to this long-term goal. We get to the long-term goal by the short and medium-term goals that are just outside of your reach. This is outside of your reach. This, because by definition, this is the long-term goal. It's way outside of your reach. Okay? It's attainable, sure, but it is more attainable when we set up the smaller goals that are a little bit closer to your grasp, right? We have the Prince of Pentacles in the unwanted position. This is the energy you don't want. I don't know if there's a Taurus. Maybe it's a Taurus person in your life that you're having a little bit of you're kind of butting heads with them a little bit. And in the mall, I don't know if there's a particular elevator that something happened near the elevator. So there's something about an elevator too. Spirit's sending that through. Person with an S name also, yeah. But the Taurus energy, the builder energy, this is the energy that we really, this is our fear, worry, and concern, perhaps. And, I think that it's a reference to this incremental growth, this progress that we're making slowly over time. I know this video is getting long already. It's the progress we're making over time, right? And I think the concern here really is that we're just going to be sort of stuck in that process, and there's going to be no end in sight. There's going to be no goal there. It's just going to be a lot of repetition and a lot of not a lot of joy, right? This is just the builder. This is the one that didn't have the vision, isn't getting the rewards, just has the orders, has the blueprints, and is just doing the work, right? And so to me, it feels like this is a very strict and narrow kind of plan. It's like the contractor building the house, right? Doesn't get to be creative, just has to go off the plan and build the house according to the spec, according to the architect's blueprint. Yeah. And so I think what we really fear is just a very dry and monotonous life where we're just doing this daily routine, this daily grind, but there's no satisfaction, there's no creativity. It's boring and it's dry, right? That's what we have in this reading is a lot of dryness. We need the water energy. Okay, with the air and the fire, it's making the earth energy very dry. Okay, the art or temperance card, again, is you stepping into your true self where you are the architect and the builder and the investor, and you are all of the things that are going into the building of this life, right? Whatever this 10 of Pentacles is for you. And so really we have a diversity here with that 8 of Wands. We have a lot of creative exploration. We have a lot of different things. It's kind of like just go and paint. Just set yourself up some kind of short-term goal that's just a little bit out of your reach, and then just start painting away. Then just start doing something toward that goal, and you will refine your path over time. This is, the card of swift energy. Right? It's kind of saying you have this surge of fire right now that we see with the 3 of Wands, and we have to keep that going. We have to harness this inspiration, and we have to get into the studio, and we have to activate this creative energy, not just once, not just in one kind of burst, right? Like a firework in the night sky, but we have to do it consistently, day after day after day. How do you keep yourself inspired day after day after day? How do you show up to work in the morning and feel excited, right? Well, I think that we'll find that in the mystery card, I'm hoping. But I think it really is through everything that we've talked about, knowing that you are taking the responsibility for this, that you are growing little by little every day, and that every day you are just a little bit closer to your long-term goal, right? And I think that we are figuring out ways to keep it exciting and not keep it too monotonous and too repetitive, right? What we want to repeat is the inspiration, How do you, it's like a band that's recording a song and they do 100 takes of a song. How do they keep the fire in every take? How do they find that maybe it could be take 1 that is like, that was perfect, inspired. It could be take 100 that was like, there we go, now we got it. That's the best track, right? Well, I think a lot of it is having some creative diversity inside of the monotony. Let's say you're trying to record the perfect version of your song. Well, maybe we need to be creative in how we do that. Maybe we go outside. Maybe we take a break. Maybe we change the lighting in the studio. Maybe we change our clothes. Maybe we go to a different studio. Maybe, you know what I mean? Change all these little things around that we can. Just start spitballing. Start throwing things at the wall and see what really sticks. Maybe it's just a matter of, let's go eat some spicy food. Maybe that'll help, bring that excitement back. And when we record again, that'll be the perfect thing, So I think we have to if you're a painter, this is, well, maybe we gotta try some different brushes. Maybe go get a different kind of paint that you're not used to getting, right? Spice it up a little bit in some way, okay? Let's look at the mystery card here. I want the Wheel of Fortune or I want the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups would be absolutely ridiculous right now. Let's see what we have. Another 8 of Pentacles. Another 8 of Pentacles. Keep going after this. Make sure that you're showing up every day. Now, the thing about the 8 of Pentacles, especially in the Pamela Smith Tarot, it looks like this person is just sitting here reproducing the same thing over and over and over again, right? How many pentacles do they need to make? What you don't realize is that each one of these pentacles is a little bit better than the last. Okay? It feels like repetition, but we're getting better. Okay? And we're refining ourselves. We're making progress. We are growing through this process. It's not about the goal. It's not about getting that perfect track recorded of that song, the perfect take. You imagine how good of a musician you're going to become if you have to play the same song with your band, recording it with all that pressure 100 times? The more repetitions, the more refined we get. Each repetition is a hammer coming down on us when we're sitting on that anvil. And we're being refined and molded into the best version of ourselves. And this is where real confidence and real satisfaction and real happiness comes from. Knowing that we are becoming the best version of ourselves. Some days might be failure, some days might be progress. Eventually we'll reach our long-term goals. We're confident in that, but who we're becoming along the way, that's what's important. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We're going to do some oracle cards. We'll do an I Ching reading. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.